live. Welcome to Near Nirvana, where you get who knows what's going to happen on a Friday night. No, Near Nirvana presents Witching Hour. And tonight it's our last episode of the season. We've been doing this for the past 5 weeks, 5 Fridays. Today's the 5th Friday. And we're ending this till next year. Next year we'll be back. Hopefully we'll be back with Witching Hour, another one. And if everybody's able to come back, I'll be so excited to have you guys back again. But oh my goodness, I'm nervous and excited. How are you guys?
We're ready to creep to the depths of hell.
Yeah, it's a little bittersweet that it's the last episode, but also exciting and creepy at the same time.
You know, a lot of stuff, like for me, I feel is mostly mentally. Honestly, it has, it's been mentally like it. I feel like it does strain me a little bit, but it's mostly that things mess with my head. I think I scare myself most of it. Little freaky things happen, but I'm like, things that I try to find an explanation, right, of why things happen or why is something happening or something like that. So I don't.
You were saying a little bit ago that this week you felt particularly a little more on edge. Is that what you're saying?
I felt like I was being watched.
Ooh.
Like it was so creepy. Like, you too, Taylor?
No, but it's just because I just watched the what is it called, the documentary or whatever.
Yes, the show.
Osbournes.
Yes. But see, like for days, usually like if I stop watching like for a few days, like I'm okay, But this one, like I stopped for 2 weeks watching stuff. Because I was watching a lot of like the haunting, like kind of like Ghost Adventures kind of thing. Oh, Jack Osbourne will hate that. They kind of compare it. But I was giving Mariah a bath and I felt like, and I was in the bathroom and I just felt like somebody was standing right behind me. Like I just felt being watched and it creeped me out so bad. I'm like, oh, just like, ugh, like I just feel it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just, it's like that, those weird things. And again, I don't know if it's like my mind that it's messing with me or is actually something. Hopefully it's nothing, and hopefully it's just my head.
Hopefully it's nothing. Because I know you said your place, like compared to the places you've lived, feels good, right? Like,
but you're in the neighboring area still, though, right?
I am, and you know what? And after like the story I'm gonna tell you guys too, that's not only to watching that stuff, but after hearing some stuff that my godmom told me and my mom told me, kind of ties in a whole thing, and I love that it kind of it is gonna end this episode like that, because I have talked about this so much about my mom, wherever she lives, it's haunted and stuff like that. So talking about this, it just feels like a whole circle kind of thing, but after hearing all that, it kind of creeped me out even more. So I think just honestly, it's more after hearing that story, it creeped me out even more, and I was being really scared. It was most of that, and oh my god, talking about it, I just get like, oh, my neck, it feels weird. Yeah, but yeah, it's just, that's why I can only do this for a certain amount of time, and then next year I'll be like, okay, let's do this again, and I'm excited for it.
I think it's good. It's good to kind of take breaks from things like this, because you never know what kind of like random entity can like attach itself to you or whatever.
I was reading a lot of like what is it called, poltergeist, like what it is, what it means and stuff like that. And again, I was watching Jack Osbourne his podcast today. I don't can learn. Excuse me. I shouldn't say that word. I don't freaking word. But
she's begging to get scared. She's just like, I need it.
It's just like, oh my god, I'm so interested. Like I want to know. Like, but But he was saying like, and I heard somebody and another show that I was watching, that he was saying that what a poltergeist is, and it's sometimes even you're being stressed and all that stuff, you kind of creating that vibe in your home, and it's just all those things and energy that you bring to your teenagers. When you have a teenager at home, they were saying kind of like Jack Osborne compared to Carrie, she's a teenager and how all that stuff could happen, and that energy that the kids are like, teenagers going through and stuff like that, it kind of creates a poltergeist. So we can ourselves create something like that is not really kind of like something.
So yeah, what you're saying, it kind of reminds me, throughout these last episodes, I've told you guys about that house the haunted one for sure. So that one, speaking of this, like I didn't tell you guys, but like when we moved in, it was a model home. So it was like, when they have these like cookie cutter track homes, it's like they have a couple houses that they show. So like our theory was always that like there were just so many people that were walking through this house that like you never know what, to your point, like what kind of energies these people are giving off, or and like that they have either attached to them or they're just giving negative vibes, and what can absorb that, like as an object, like anything from a necklace to like whatever they're touching or sitting on, and it's like, I don't, I think that was one of the things that
it kind of right now, it kind of clicked with you, like,
exactly.
Hey. Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny you guys actually mentioned that too. Was it when my first son was born, we were looking into getting homes. And then the home we were looking at, we felt like this weird vibe. We were like, oh, we kind of like the house, but it had like this weird energy. Then when they showed us the backyard, I was like, oh, this explains it. Cemeteries all the way, and the cemeteries behind the wall. I'm like, oh,
no,
right, cool.
Yeah,
we didn't move in.
Needless to say,
listening to this podcast with what's his name, the girl that Jack Osborne has this show that it calls Portal to Hell, right? And them too, because they're trying to like investigate if this this place that is really, really haunted and have a lot of things happening, they're trying to figure it out if it's a portal or if it's just a regular haunting or whatever, things like that, right? That's why it calls Portal to Hell. But now since that show stopped, I think they had that 4 seasons and then it got canceled on Discovery Channel. So now on his podcast, he invited her and they were talking about it. And she's the one who was saying, that's why the poltergeist. And she was saying that one of her friends went to see a house and she just like everything was, she's like, it was beautiful, but a Victorian house. So everything was everything, but once we got into the
That's it all.
Right,
I know, right?
Into the attic, that she started feeling really sick, very nauseous, and she had to get out of there. And she started throwing up. But once she got out of there, she was like, "I just feel okay," She's like, so she was like, then she said that she will get those people, like those. That she was the kind of person that she will feel the vibes of people and things like that, but she was trying to block it off, like she didn't want to pay attention to that, so she was kind of sensitive to things like that. So she said that she's like, definitely didn't buy the house because there was something going on there. But yeah, like you never know, like it could be like, they always talk about residual of people living at the places, like an echo, and that's why you hear things like that, like little things, sometimes it can be just, I don't know, I get your mixed with your energy and things happen, right? But whew, it's just, I had a dinner with David Field. You can see what? I had dinner with David Field. My wife, good friend, was his wife. Holy moly! I do not know who David Fielder is. I need to look it up. But
that's gonna leave hair on your arm.
Holy crap! Oh my god! Did you find out after, like way later, like he was a serial killer? I need to. I'll look it up later. I don't know. But
you probably found out when he was eating spaghetti and meatballs, and there were fingers in the spaghetti. Like, check, please. I'd be like, check, please.
So, Okay, so who wants to start with the story or with the legend, or what? Who wants to start? Oh, Steve, you want to start?
Yeah, I won't. I won't talk about when I talked to Lucy because that's just like a minimal thing. It's not like it's not.
No, that's
scary.
interesting. I thought I'm like you have to tell it.
So okay, it's just a quick one, but I'll get into the one I want to tell you. So I like dropped Lucy. Like I told you guys earlier, in my like condo, we have like I have it's dark, like so we're like in the shaded area. We don't get as much sun, and when we do, it's like
Dude, shut
during
up.
the summer, but it's shaded.
Hold on, I'm so sorry. What?
No,
Did
you're
you
good.
Read
Oh
my god.
Oh,
what is
He's a necro killer too. Yeesh.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Dead body.
He said, "Look it up on Google."
Okay, I'll look it up.
You can pull
I did.
It up, sure.
I did, and I shouldn't have, but I did.
You did?
just don't share your screen.
it was crazy because the first
we're gonna do a deep dive of this guy, huh?
Right, the first thing was like necrophilia killer, and I'm like, oh boy, those British killers, I tell you.
Dave was like, wait, not way. Okay, I wrote it down so I can look for it because I'll probably forget. No, okay, sorry, Steve. Keep going.
Oh no. So during like in my house, usually we have these like motion light like detectors that turn blue, so that you could see your way. So if you're walking, it just sparks up blue. So it was like around like 3 or 4 in the morning. I went to the restroom. And I was like sitting down and I was like just in kind of like sleep. And I was like sitting there and all of a sudden like I stopped moving. So like the light goes off when you stop moving. It just goes black. So it went black and I was just sitting there. I didn't breathe in or anything. I was just in my thoughts and all of a sudden the light turned blue and I was like shot up and I was like, "Oh shit." I reached over, turned the light on, and I was like, "That's enough for me," because I wasn't moving. I was just sitting there, and the light went out. So obviously, I wasn't moving because the light turned out. But after and I was in the dark. But after a while, like it just sparked on. I was like, "Oh, f that," and I turned on the light, and I just like I was up from there on in. But I mean that could have been something moving or whatever. But it's just me. My parents were asleep. I already come in. But yeah. And I just told Lucy that because she was telling me she was like telling me about the shows she's been watching and how she's been feeling and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh man, yeah, you got to give yourself rest because you're listening to all that stuff coming in. Like sometimes it just I don't know, like it just leaves off an energy.
Yeah, I don't know if you feed into it, you know.
Yeah, I guess you give it a place to like stay. Basically, it's a living chance to kind of become, I think. So the story like I have is with my cousin that lives in California. She lives in Sacramento, but prior she like lives in like she lived in Oxnard and like a lot of the area agricultural Camarillo she's lived at. She was actually one of the first ones I told the story about in another location. So one night where we're coming back home, and already like in Camarillo, they have the Air Force Base there. You know, like so it's like right off the off ramp. You get off and you can just drive and you could see it. And, you know, like planes taking off, like little freighters or whatever. But we're driving back from like going out with friends and stuff like that. And she told me, "Why don't you just stay the night?" And she doesn't tell me where she lives at. Right? She doesn't tell me anything. She just says, "Just come over." I'm like, "All right." And I'm like, at this point, this is like the maybe third time that like in areas that I've been with her and I've stayed with her that were like scary stuff has happened, paranormal shit has happened. So you would think I would learn, but it's like your family. So you're just like, it's my favorite cousin. Of course I'm gonna stay with you. So we're driving, and as we're driving through the naval, like the base, we see this like triangular thing that's like float like going around like this. It's green, and then all of a sudden it takes off. At the same time, like her and I call each other on the like your Bluetooth, and at the same time, we're like, we're like, did you see that? I'm like, okay, so I'm not tripping.
Oh, snap.
I'm thinking like, all right, maybe it's just my eye, my naked eye playing tricks on me. And she's like, no, I saw that. And we're like talking shit, just giggling, driving. And we're like on the phone with each other. I was like, yeah, just stay on the phone. We'll get to like an area. And as we're driving, we're going past these crops. It's like secluded and we're far. We're like in the Tules. And I'm like, Roseanne, where the hell do you live at? When are we gonna get to your place? And she goes like, oh, it's coming up. We make a left and there's like a turnstile in what looks like kind of like the best description would be like a Nightmare Before Christmas tree. It's all dilapidated and just there's no leaves.
Great.
And it's in like this wiry fence, like this old like iron fence. And I'm like, this looks familiar. And I'm like, where are we going? She's like, oh, I stay at the, like Channel Islands. It's the university. And she goes, I stay in the middle of it. And I'm like, okay. And then we start creeping. We see more fences. And there's Scary Dairy. So scary. I'll get into like where I'm at. I'm in the center of the shit, guys. Let me tell you. And I've told Lucy this already. And I
forgot about it.
So we're driving in and I see Scary Dairy. It says it fenced off and it says, please don't come like hop the fence. There's paranormal activity and reportings. Do not go at night. And we're going through the turnstile and I'm like, Roseanne, I had no idea you freaking live by Scary Dairy. And she's like, there, and she's just giggling and she's like, oh, you're like, she just likes fucking with me. So she's like, there's more. And we come in and we're driving in. And I was like, the university. Well, the university, Channel Island University, used to be a psych ward where they did like lobotomies, electronic therapy. No. There was a jazz player that at the Belmont, I think he was went crazy.
Oh wait, I just remember
saxophone player, and they moved him into this asylum, right? And he ended up dying there. So he ends up dying there. There's a lot of paranormal activity. There's stories like galore of students that see things, and prior to that, so I'm in the middle. So it's university, dorms and apartments, and then Scary Dairy on the other end. So I get there, and just by being there, I'm like, okay. I told her, I told you I was gonna stay the night. I'm only staying till 9, and I'm out of here. And she's like, okay, fine. So I sit there and we're watching a movie, and 9 o'clock on the dot hits, and I get up and I'm like, all right, see you guys later. And I'm joking with my cousin. I'll have fun with the ghost, like being all smart alecky and shit. But as I get up, I turn her couch is faced towards the window, and they have like a big window. And I get up and I turn around, and like from the left side of where the university is, this fog comes just like freaking covering everything and just slowly coming like this. And I'm like looking left, and my car's parked like right in the front, like so I could see my car. And all of a sudden, everything's covered. It's just I can't see anything. It's like just fog.
Dude, it's kind of like
it's supposed to be foggy because
kind of like that.
There's like a marine layer.
And the weather wasn't like rainy. Like it wasn't raining. How was the weather?
It wasn't raining, but over in Camarillo and Oxnard, they're by the beach, right? So like early morning, they get the marine layer. So I mean, I'm thinking it's marine layer, of course. Like we could call it up.
It's just timing's creepy though.
Timing. Yeah. So it's 9 o'clock. It's dark out, guys. It's dark, and I'm like, I'm out of here, and I'm just like joking with her, and I'm rusing her, and she's like, just shaking her head, and she's just laughing. And then I turn my head, I look outside, and her and I, we look at each other, and she's like, I guess you're not leaving now. And I'm like, suck. Just suck. I'm like, for sure not going out there, because I was just like, if I go out there, what happens if there's like a sighting or any paranormal activity? And there's been like, she told me after the fact that I've like her story and that one was scary. So I'm like, well, and she starts like giggling, and she's like, okay, don't worry. She's like, we'll sleep in the front room, like together. And I'm like, okay. Feeling pretty safe. I get up, it's like 3:30 in the morning. It's like on the dot, like, and I'm like awake. I'm like, I open my eyes and she's gone. She's just gone. Her and her kid are gone. She had a little
What?
7-year-old. And there's like 2 bedrooms, right? There's like one. It's like she's in the middle. There's a right bedroom and a left bedroom. So she went to her bed to equate it, but she leaves me there, right?
I
It's
always
dark,
hate that.
and there's I
Yeah.
was so like I was like
Oh
resent,
no.
and I was like, oh you fuck. I was like
oh no.
you son of a gun. Okay, so it's dark, right? And where she's at, like there's the window, there's the couch, and like kitty corner, like there's her kitchen is like facing that way, and kitty corner is her son's bedroom, and then the like on my corner eye, I could see a light on, and it's the bathroom. And I'm like looking, and I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom, but I'm looking there, and I feel like someone's like looking at me from the sink, like they're just like by the sink, and I could just feel it. I'm just like stuck there, and I'm like like scared, like I could feel it, the energy it's giving off, and I'm just laying there, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, oh shit. So I turn around like the last time, and I'm facing the couch. I feel like it's like closing, like in close, like it's like walking towards me.
Oh hell
Like,
no.
and I'm just like by the couch. I'm like saying a prayer. I'm like, I like take the covers. I like pull it over. I'm like, oh God, please help me go to sleep. Please.
Oh
And
my
I'm like, just
god,
put me
dude.
to sleep. And I like say a quick prayer. I'm like, please God protect me. I'm like, I say my prayers, and I just fall asleep. It's like maybe 5, 6 in the morning, 7, and there's like daylight, like first crack of daylight, and out comes my cousin. She's like just skipping, jumping around, and she's like, I'm like, dude, you're a jerk. You freaking left me out here alone.
He's like, did you make
No, I
it?
didn't even go to the bathroom, Bobby. I held that like you wouldn't believe, and I fell asleep.
Oh my god.
That's called
Like,
some
go
good
back
kid.
in.
You
Go
know what
back
I mean?
in.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just
That's
like,
always
please. If I was gonna go, I would have did it in the couch, and I'm surprised I didn't. But
just
Yeah,
being
yeah.
left like that
She comes
alone though, I hate that. Like
in the
anytime
dark.
growing up when they're like you fall asleep with your family in the family room, whatever, watching TV, and then you wake up and
Yeah.
everyone's gone,
Everybody's
lights are
gone.
off, and it's just like, oh,
I
what
know.
happened?
Yeah, and I don't
So
think I ever did that. No.
so it like even within that, she comes out and she's like, oh, I had to leave you. You were snoring so loud and we couldn't sleep. So I was like, all right. Shame on me. And then I was like, hey, and so then I asked her, I go, did you leave the light on, bathroom light on?
That's so
And she's
funny.
like, no, why? And she's like, we just left and went into the room. And I was like, so you didn't leave the bathroom light on, right? And she's like, no. And so I sit there and I tell her what happened. And
Oh,
she's
hell
like,
no.
oh, and she's like, okay, so you felt it too. So and then she's like, you want to eat some breakfast? I'm like, I'll make breakfast right now. I'm like, hell no, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Never coming back. I'm like, I was like, the next place you move, I'm done. I'm never coming to visit you. Ever. And so like we get up and we walk towards the kitchen, and the kitchen's like their cabinets are facing the door. So I get the back of the cabinet. So we turn into where the front door is going to be at, and all the cabinets are open. And we just look at each other. I'm like, I'm out of here. I was like, get your kid. I was like, listen, if you want to go to breakfast, let's go to breakfast. I'm never ever staying here
Hey, they
again.
were getting the stuff ready for you guys. You know that? Oh, you said breakfast?
Yeah, man. They're like, hey, you wanted breakfast? We were already getting ready to crack some eggs, aka your head. But so a little history there. They again, it was a psych ward that was on the end, and a little folklore was like they used to have jobs, right? But there used to be Scary Dairy used to be like a milking farm, and so they gave jobs to these people that were there at the psych ward. And it was said that one person ended up killing some of the people that worked there.
That's crazy.
And then ended up hanging themselves.
Ooh.
And so the Scary Dairy that area is scary too. Like when I was a kid, like 18, I went there, and it felt so bad, especially at night. It's like it's right. If you look it up, it's just graffitied out, but it is scary at night. I will say that. That's how I knew we were at where we were at.
Dude, I'm trying to remember when I had you. I think it was the first time I think I had you on my show that we were talking about that. I only remember that it was the Scary Dairy. Because what did I said if it was the killing cow or what was it? It was something.
Oh yeah,
like,
you can hear cows mooing like playing at the moon.
I was like, La vaca, moo, la vaca. You know that song? Did you Have you ever heard that song?
Moo, la vaca, moo, la vaca.
Yeah. Sarah, have you heard that song before?
Yeah, that I've heard, yeah.
It's just so funny. It's like you expect something scary and it's just like, ooh, la vaca.
I would need it at that time for sure. I wish I would have knew that. If I was laying down, I would have played it on my phone and been like, cue the music.
You just see a cow coming out and dancing.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but that's my story. That's
yeah,
I think like with my cousin when she was younger, she kind of messed around, I think, with Ouija boards and stuff with her friends.
So, but we'll talk
ever
about
since
that.
then.
I think because I think that her stories are very similar to my mom. Not as scary, but they're pretty similar to my mom. So I think that might have happened to her too. But we'll talk about it later.
It's scary because anywhere she's at, like where she stayed at, in every place. I didn't when she moved to Omaha, I didn't stay in that place. But she said that her son didn't sleep in his room, and he said something. He felt like something bad in the closet was there.
Oh no!
So he ended up always sleeping in the front room or either in their room.
Yeah,
and he just couldn't sleep there. He would not. And I mean the same could be said for that room that he was at right there too, because he said the same thing. He was like, I can't sleep here. I can't sleep here at night.
Dude, she needs to do like a limpia or something. Because
I think either that or because when I talked to her recently, she was telling me, she's like, you should come visit like during the winter, come to stay. And she's in Sacramento right now. And like in Roseville. And I told her, you know what? And I was like,
Cruz, no.
Yeah. And I asked her, I was like, so there's nothing going on there or anything like that. And she's like, no. And I was like, F you. And I was like, you're just getting me to go down there.
Yeah, she's just baiting you.
Screwed.
Mm-hmm. Dude, if you guys want, like, I had her on the show. It's on my channel. If you guys go Mama Comic, my YouTube channel, I have the interview with her, and she told us a lot of the stories. You were with her, right? You, Steve, you, and I think was it Sam too, my husband. He was on with us, right? But I had her on the show. So if you guys want to go back and watch the interview with her, it's on my channel. What did I call it? Was it Witching Hour? Or was I calling it something else? I don't remember. But you guys can look it up on my channel. Damn, that's so. Thank you for your testimony, Steve.
Yeah. I never want to remember those. I don't want to relive those anymore.
No,
I don't think I can make it.
Who wants to go next? I can go next if you guys want.
Yeah, you go next.
Yeah, give me the cheese bag.
Ay, Dios mío.
Oh my God, I'm scared now.
Your heart's gonna be beat.
Dude, I'm scared to say it. Yes, I'm scared to say it. But like, let's see if it comes out as scared, like that has how I feel. But okay, like how I have I have told you guys that wherever the same thing, wherever my mom lives is always haunted. Not so necessarily bad, doesn't feel, it's just like little things that it has happened and stuff like that, only just one house was that I felt the vibe that it was different and it was scary. I did feel like it was scary. Hey, what's up? Other than that, like it does usually, like, because I have lived with her, I never felt like, anything was happening till this last house that was the last house that I lived with her. Like, did I start dating my husband, and then I was like, me and him were dating, and I had to ask, like, you need to stay here because I don't feel safe. I'm so scared. And like that house, like the ceilings were really high, and it had, you know how out here like it has the light bulb and then it has like a little round thing, crystal, whatever around around it, right? So that it has little screws and it was really high, and we've been there like for 2 months already. And right away we were like, at night we will hear like stuff in the kitchen and things like that. And out of nowhere one day in the middle of the night, we just hear like something broke, a glass breaking. Hey Adam, what's up? Hey Copy, what's up? We just hear something breaking, right? And we're like, we all woke up, and then in the middle of the night we woke up. I don't remember what time it was, but I just know it was in the middle of the night. We woke up, and we just see that little glass from the ceiling, like it's on the floor, broken. And we're like, we've been here for like few months. Like if it was unscrewed a while ago, it should have fallen a long time ago. Why till now? You know, and not like things like that. It's just like it happened. The lights turning on from the bathroom, the water from the faucet turning on, bunch of little weird stuff was happening. So finally I was like, I'm out of here, Mom. Sorry. I'm moving in with Sam. And later on she had to move too. Yes, later on she had to move too because they were scaring my siblings, and at the time they were little. So I So right after the show, the Hot 10, then after that, so yeah, you know that, and after that, my mom has moved in something, you know, her current house, the same. I've told the story before. So I was talking to my mom, and I asked her, I'm like, hey mom, I remember that you said that you played the Ouija board, you know, like what happened, like, and she started telling me. She's like, she doesn't remember very like much of what really happened. And she's like, but I remember, she's like, I was playing with my friends. She's like, one of them's your godmother. She's like, and I remember there were sisters, the girls who owned the Ouija board, and they said that to be able to contact with the real spirits, whatever, you have to take it to a curandera or something like that, somebody who knows all the witchcraft type of thing, to cure it, the thing, to be able to pass kind of like a level of craziness, basically. And these girls, they were all around 14, but it's Mexico. You can find those ladies anywhere, you know. So she said that they took it and then they started playing. They used to play like every weekend, and they started playing, and you know, they were always answering, and there was always two people. Oh wait, no, she didn't tell. My mom didn't tell me this. She just said that she remembered they played, and they were able to communicate with people. And then one of the girls, the main girl who had the Ouija board that she did, got so upset. Not upset, obsessed. She got so upset. Yeah, like that she wanted to play this. Sometimes she started playing by herself. At her house, she will be in her room playing all the time. She got so very possessive of the Ouija board. Yeah, and she's like, we even had to take her to the priest. My mom, she's like, I don't remember how it happened, but we ended up taking her to a priest because it got bad. She's like, but talk to your godmom. I don't remember much. I was like, okay. So I called my godmother the next day, and I was like, hey Nina, like, you know, my mom told me this, like, you know, can you tell me more about it? And her eyes were just like, because I was FaceTiming with her, and she was like, she's like, oh, I haven't talked about this in a long time, in a very, very long time. She's like, I got chills. She's like, I got chills from head to toes. She's like, I haven't talked about this. She's like, oh, she said she started getting kind of nervous. And then she's like, well, I was like, what happened? And she started telling me more with details. She's like, well, it was like, I think it was like, she said 5 to 6 girls. She's like, including your mom, we were all playing, and we will do 2 at a time. And she's like, you know, then they were able to communicate, and there was always 2 people that will come through. And one of them, I don't want to say his name because I don't know, for some reason, after I heard that and saying the name, it kind of got me really nervous. Yeah. But I'm gonna say just the if you watch the movie Elf, that the elf loves saying his name. It starts with an F. He gets excited to pronounce his name when he's working with the dad in the office.
Oh yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, he was what is it called? Not a witch. What do you call the?
Warlock?
Yeah, yes,
Warlock.
yes, that he was one of them. And yeah, and it's funny because the other person, my mother-in-law, told me the name, and I don't remember the other name, but she said that he doesn't seem harmless, but the other one did. That he will get mad and things like that. Oh my god, telling them I feel so weird. And then she says that he will tell them things that they will happen in the future. They will tell them like some things. And my mother and my godmom, my Nina, she was like, covering the eyes. My godmom, she was like, she was like, oh, I don't believe this. This is like, like bullshitting and blah 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 blah. And then that thing started going crazy, and she says that a can kind of flew and started like telling her to get out, that she needed to leave. And she's like, I don't believe this. And they do something to me if you like. She started like kind of like fine. Yes. And she's like, nothing happened then. She's like, but when I went home at night, because it was also my Nina's sister. It was my Nina's sister, the two sisters who were on the Ouija board, my mom and another friend. And then she said that when they went home, my Nina shared the room with her sister, and that she said she was asleep, and it was 3:00 in the morning, and that she woke up screaming, and her sister got up and then turned on the light, and she said that she felt that her arm was pulling all the way to the back. She's like, it hurt so bad, something was pulling my arm. After that, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I believe it now. So that happened, right? And then again, they went to play again, and they're sorry to say that the girl that she owned, the girl who was getting obsessed with it, that she was fighting with the other girl, telling him he's mine, like you need to back off because he's mine, like very like possessive towards the person that they were talking to. And he's mine, you need to like, and started like talking really mad and loud. And then they started like telling her to calm down, and then they did something to calm her down, and then she was kind of like snapped out of it, and she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, like I don't know what happened, like and then she says that after what happened, I'm trying to remember, that after a while, it was the same night, I think, that she was getting angry and angrier. And then they were like, we need to stop this because you're getting out of control, we need to stop. And she was like, no, like want to keep going. She's like, no. And then they're like, you know what, then she started acting all crazy again. And then they were like, okay, they kind of, where they were at, they were not far from the church. And they're like, we're gonna take you to see the priest because this is not okay. And she was like, no, you're not gonna take me, like talking crazy. And they said that she's like, we're all 14-year-olds, skinny girls. She's like, but this girl, she's like, 5 of us, we were trying to drag her to the church. She's like, and it was like dragging. She's like somebody who was very heavy. She's like, she did not feel like that. She was so heavy. We couldn't drag her. She kept kind of getting away. She's like, till finally she ran into her older brother and a friend. And but before this, she says that when they were doing that out of nowhere, she's like, this was 10 p.m. at night. So she's like, not a lot of people were in the street already because it was late at night already. But she's like, out of nowhere, this little girl. Oh, thank you, Namesh. Thanks, Namesh.
Thanks, Namesh.
Thank you.
She says out of nowhere, she's like, this little girl, she's like, she was like probably 5 or 6 years old, comes out of nowhere. She's like, she was cut naked, just wearing like little chonies. That's all. She was like, that's all she was wearing. She didn't say nothing. She just came up to us while we were wrestling with this girl. she's like, and the friend stopped and she started yelling at little girl, what are you looking at? Like, get away from here, blah, 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 yelling at the girl, like cussing at the girl. They were like telling her, hey, calm down. Like when they were trying to calm her down because she was going crazy, that they saw the little girl kind of ran away. But then when they looked back to look for the girl, because she's like, we need to get this little girl home. Like, what is she doing out here? They didn't know. She's like, we knew, everybody who, Mexico, all your neighbors. They didn't know where this little girl, they never seen this little girl. They didn't know where she came from. So they started trying to look for the little girl. They didn't find her. They didn't find her. They're like, she was little. She was 5-6 years old. So anyways, finally they're trying to drag her. The brother, they ran into the brother and the friend. The friend, they helped they pick up the girl. They took both of them. They were older, like 18-year-old guys. They took both of them to carry her to take her to the church. Finally, at the church, the priest told them, you know what? You need to stop. You need to burn this or, throw it in the river. But you need to burn this and be done with it. And he prayed over them and stuff like that. And that's it. She's like, that was the last time we played. So then I asked my godmom, I was like, so after you were done playing, does anything has happened after? Like, did anything happen? Did huh?
No, Bobby DeLugato said the power of Christ compels you. I'm all, hail!
Yes. Amen. Amen. Then, she was like, you know what? She's like, it's funny that you asked me that. She's like, because I never put it together. She's like, but yes. She's like, before that never happened. But after that, something has always followed me. And I was like, because I started telling her about my mom, and I asked my mom too, after you play, if that's when I'm like, when did it really start? I'm like, did you have to be, all this, did it happen before or was it after? And then she's like, she's like, I never thought about it. She's like, but it was after I played. And it happened also to my godmom. And I asked my godmom, hey, Nina, like, what happened to those two girls? They're like, shortly after they moved away and we never heard from them again. We don't know what happened. But she's like, one of them who was playing with us, which it was, I think, her cousin or something like that. She said she passed away. And that guy told her that she was going to become a prostitute and she was going to steal and stuff like that. And then she was going to have a short life. And that happened. And then, yes. And then I was just like, what the hell? And then she was like, and then I told her about my mom and she's like, yeah, she's like, after that, something has always followed me. She's like, even when I'm in the phone, sometimes I hear like shh out of nowhere. She's like, but I hear voices. My godmom's son passed away, I think 1 year or 2 years ago. And she said that she has her son. She's like, but now I think about it, I don't know if it's my son. I don't know if it's messing with me or what. But she's like, I just feel that as that probably that either one of those two people who maybe it got attached to them. And I just think that I'm like, that's where it comes from. All that has happened to my mom. It started there, and I hope not, dude. I hope not, because it's just so like after that, hearing all that, I was so like, oh, and because when she was telling me that she hears like things like that, every time I have FaceTime my mom, out of nowhere you can hear that like and I hear voices. And I have told my mom, have you heard that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? And she's like, no, what is it? My mom's like, no, what? But I have heard that multiple times. And I think I forgot to tell my mom that. I don't know. I don't remember if I told her that. But then my godmom told me the same thing that she has heard in the phone when it has happened to her. So I'm like,
Nick says, have you witnessed it in person?
Dude, after all that, I was just like, oh my God. So since then, I've been so scared and feeling like what I was telling you guys, like something is watching me, or I don't know, again, if it's just in my head. It could be in my head, and I hope it's just in my head. But
Lucy, do you know if they burned the Luigi bird?
I don't know. They don't know. They don't know.
Maybe that's why it's still like there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's still open. It's never burned or never gotten rid of.
Have
Good
you?
God, Lucy.
Yeah, have you ever witnessed it in person? No. Oh, what? Like the stuff that has happened to my mom? Some stuff only, but we don't realize what it's like to me. Like I haven't realized what it's happening till way later. You know, like yeah, there's some things that I have seen and I don't like. Till later, I'm like,
the stories you told me have been scary. Like with the lady that came out of the TV.
Dude, but I can't remember which one.
Remember?
What the heck?
Oh,
I remember what I say.
Where you lived at? You said.
Did she say 7 days?
Like
I know.
No. So it was this like one. I think.
Oh yes, I did tell her about the little girl. Yeah, my uncle with the TV. So okay. Okay. So that now I was thinking too that they said that they saw the little girl. That house. Oh my God, my voice kind of went away. That house was a little girl, and my mom has always think that it's a little girl following her. So that's what I was like. They saw that little girl, and I was just like, my mom has always been a little girl around her.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh my God, so exciting! But yeah, that's my story.
And wait, so has your mom ever got a cleaning?
She said she did, and she was supposed to go back, but she didn't go back.
Yeah, it's something like you have to keep doing.
Yeah, I think it's like 3 times because at the very end they give you like a chain.
Yeah, she didn't go back.
Orb or something like that.
I know. I told her you need to go back.
Right now, when you were telling the story, I got super scared. I don't know if you guys, I don't think you noticed, but there was a huge earthquake right now. And I was like,
really?
I didn't say anything. But
when?
I didn't notice.
Like right, probably in the middle of your story.
Oh shit! We need to mark it.
And she's all like, everything started shaking, and I was just like,
I'm gonna have to go replay this.
Yeah, you'll see it. I just like,
dude, that has happened to me when I was, I think, in drunken chat. Like I was like with them, and I don't know. No, like, oh my God,
it freaked me out because I was like listening to you, and I'm already like on edge, and then all of a sudden my whole place shook, and I'm just like.
Oh my
Wow.
I'm like, I'm not even gonna interrupt right now.
You should have. I wanted to see.
Just like earthquake.
I freaked out in my head though. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna rewind and see it because
that's hilarious. If you see it, let me know because you heard what part it was. Yeah. Oh my God. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So who wants to go next?
I'm gonna look it up actually and see how big that.
Yes.
That big was.
Sarah, you want to go of your little thing?
Sure.
This one. Let me show it.
Yeah.
This guy right here.
That is mine. Wow. So I don't.
It was
really
a 3.9.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow. That's
a good shake. A good shake.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, Sarah.
Go ahead.
Tell us.
So I didn't really have any like stories, but Lucy said talk about some folklore and so Wisconsin, we have a couple folklores around here. We got a couple like water monsters. You know, we do have Bigfoot. We do have the hodag, but that's not real. But but they celebrated up in, I can't remember where, but it's way up north. But there is another creature which Lucy she put up, and that is it's the Wendigo. Oh, dang,
Wendigo.
The Wendigo. If you have not heard of the Wendigo, it is a mythical evil spirit. Its origins are from the Great Plains, Great Lakes, which I'm part of one of the states where I live in. That's part of their Native American folklore. They strongly associate it with winter, the north, and cold and starvation. So if you can imagine, obviously living in Wisconsin and Minnesota, Michigan, Our winters are not kind. They can be very brutal. They can be very cold. There's a book actually called Wisconsin Death Trip. And those are all stories. It's actually a documentary too. It's all stories about living in Wisconsin during the early years and people dealing with the cold. Because remember, there's no TV, there's no heat, there's no, or if you're gonna have heat, it's gonna be wood. There's no grocery stores, nothing's 24-hour. You're in this house and it's, you guys all live in warm climates. I've dealt with 30 below weather. So can you imagine, this is what this creature is associated with. The creature is human. It has human-like characteristics, which eventually what it does is it actually possesses other humans, and those humans turn into wendigos. That's right. Winter is coming. By the way, I actually have a cold weather alert because it's going to be 38 degrees tonight. So
my.
Yeah. So yes, winter is coming, which means the wendigo is going to be out. They are cursed to wander the land eternally, looking for human flesh. If they starve, they can actually starve to death. Kenora, Ontario, Canada, because that's also been known for sightings. That is the Wendigo capital of the world. Right, my winters are evil. Yeah, and they are just hauntingly creatures. There's actually a video game that I want to play whenever I get hopefully a new gaming system, called Until Dawn. Those are Wendigo creatures. If you've ever played that game, they're just their skin is stretched and it's their eyes are sunken in and they have no lips and they just have this insatiable for human flesh. So yeah, that's what I wanted. I just wanted to be hey, yeah, you got your Bigfoots, you got your your other thing, your lake monsters, but do you have Wendigos? So
that's crazy.
First time I've heard of it.
Yeah, my first time hearing it too. That's pretty cool.
And there's stories so usually around, November is when hunting season starts, and usually you do have snow around that time. So people will, yep, that's right. Wendigos are actually in comics. Yep, that's right. Yeah, so people have seen Wendigos hunting. So
wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's creepy,
right? And they're creepy looking. If you Google Wendigos, they're they usually have a skull, looks like a deer skull for a face, and then they have these long nails, long arms. They're just super creepy. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys about.
It's interesting. I never knew about that.
I know. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else wants to share anything before we move to our picks to visit?
I'll share a quick story.
Okay.
This one's actually my friend's, but she told me, and she actually was she sent me a video, and I watched the video, and I was like, holy crap. So it was a security video that showed an orb. You guys have any experiences with orbs? So this was wild. She owns, or used to own, this little cell phone shop. And I think Lucy and Steve, I told you guys this story offline, but I haven't said it for the show. So I'm going to just start up with this right now. She sends me the video and I just couldn't believe it. Honestly, I had heard about orbs and I didn't really quite know what they were. But it's essentially just a little orb that follows you kind of especially, and you can see them in pictures and stuff. And a lot of people just think that it's an entity or spirit or what have you. But in this particular video, so that night she had she had received a call from the cops, I guess, because the alarm went off in her store. And like I said, she sold like cell phones. So she had a lot of inventory in there and everything. So she rushed over there, and sure enough, like the windows, the big windows were all shattered and everything. And like, I don't know if it was the window that was shattered, but because this was quite a few years back. So I'm like trying to remember little by little here, but yeah. So she goes in and, that's what it was. The case where they kept all the cell phones was glass, and that was shattered. And so they were like, oh, it's weird though, because they didn't take any of the like inventory. It's just shattered, but it's like nobody really came in or did anything. So but it's weird because the alarm also went off. So it was this whole thing. And they looked at the security tapes, and it was wild because she's like started at this time code. So at the corner, you see this orb, this white little orb just come down very slowly, very slowly. She's like, watch it. And it's like coming down, traveling down across the screen. And then once it approaches this glass case that all the cell phones are in, it like stops for a little bit, and then you just see the glass shatter, and like literally nobody's in there. We don't know how the heck it happened. And she was freaked out. She's like, Joe, don't show anybody this, but look what we saw in the security tapes. And I was like, what the heck? And this was like, I want to say like 10 years ago now or something like that. But it's not like she could have doctored that, like video or anything. It was like legit security camera footage. And to this day, like they don't really know how that happened besides the little freaking weird orb thing. And
that is so
just
weird.
Wow.
Unsolved mystery. But yeah. I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
My hairs went up.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just creepy.
Oh my god.
Dan, thank you for sharing, Jojo. That's crazy.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to sleep tonight, guys.
I'm not gonna be able to sleep. I had to put some Christmas movies or something. I've been watching scary stuff since the morning. Like I haven't stopped.
Same, dude. Same. I know. I'm telling you, I had to like put like Parks and Recreation in The Office or something because get my mind off of it. Fez, you want to share something, or you want me to start with the?
No, I got a quick one too. Since we were talking about like poltergeist and stuff, I want to say about 12, 13 years ago, we had a guys trip going to Santa Fe Springs. So we had like a little timeshare area that one of our friends, his mom had. So we went there. We were there for the weekend. We didn't think much of it, but when we went through, they always told us, "Oh, make sure the sliding door, there was a long wooden stick there. They're like, never take that out." We figured, oh, maybe the lock's busted or something. So it's like a Mickey Mouse mechanism to kind of like stop anybody from opening the door. So we didn't think much of it. Come the second night, we started playing poker and we started drinking a bit. One of our friends, like, he gets the stick and he notices that the stick has like engravings on it. These weird symbols and stuff. We figured, we didn't think much of it. As soon as he picked up the stick, we started seeing and hearing all these weird noises. We were actually watching Battle Royale, and it was a 2-story. We were watching Battle Royale in the bottom in the living room. We started hearing footsteps. And we're like, wait a minute, there's no one upstairs. We're all down here. So we're like, we paused the movie. We're just like, quiet. And we're like, okay, it's nothing. Started playing the movie again, and then you hear like running. We're like, okay, there's definitely something going on. So it's like 5 of us. We're going up the stairs slowly, like with the stick in hand, just looking around, peeking through rooms and everything. We're all adrenaline's going. We hear like the little creaks from stepping on like the wood, and we're all getting freaked out, thinking that something's there. But no, the whole night we kept hearing things, and then we put the stick back, and everything went away. We're like, maybe that's why they told us not to get the stick. Maybe that stick was protecting, like, from any spirits coming in. And when we asked our friend, hey, ask your mom what's going on with that. Why was that stick there? She had mentioned that actually when they got the timeshare, the person that handed all the keys over to them and everything said that that stick has always been there. And the person prior to that told them to leave that stick there. So after that, we never went back. His mom would always tell us from time to time, hey, no, timeshare is always available. We're like, nah, we're good. We're not going back.
Yeah, you're like, we're chill.
Jeez.
Wow, dude, that's crazy. Yeah. That okay. Heather, do you want to
look at us a damn Fez?
no. Is there anything you want to share, Heather, or you?
We can jump into the next topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be you.
Oh, it's me. Hello.
Yeah. So
this is the Queen Mary. It's located here in Long Beach, California. I actually because of Lucy, I watched today the Jack Osbourne and Kelly Osbourne. I don't know, is it like a documentary or it's just like a?
It's just like one of those shows, like, you know, kind of like ghost hunting, things like that. Yeah.
So they went and actually stayed there for like, I think it was like 3 days, and they were like investigating like the whole vessel. And I feel like I want to write to them and tell them, you guys need to go back again, because I feel like they only got like one chunk of the vessel like done. I want to see like what else spooky stuff is, but that room right there, I think that one's room B304. Yeah. And there's like a lot of activity that happens in that room with like the ghosts and stuff. I'm not too sure. I don't have it here. But there's this one room where Kelly Osbourne went into, and
where she spent the night, or
no, it's where
the light turns on.
The sidekick came, and they said they could see like the little shadow moving because there was like a man that was like basically following Kelly around in the vessel and stuff like that. And then they actually have another picture where they can see like somebody's like ¿cómo se dice? Like crouching.
Yeah.
They're like you could see like it's the outline is like blue, and
when she's like in the bottom like sitting down, and you can see the shadow like it moves. So
I've actually been here, but not to like ghost hunt. I went because they do the haunted mazes sometimes.
Yeah.
When I went, I didn't really feel anything, but I would want to go back to like stay or something.
Oh my god, so crazy. And I believe right now it's closed. I don't know if it's open. It's back open.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
It's open again. Yeah, they're starting to open it up. A few of my coworkers have gone.
It's right here. It's a submarine. Right here. I don't know if you see my mouse, but like kind of like in the bottom of the black line, like behind the fence. Yeah. It's a submarine. So that one, since it's so old and they don't really have an owner for it, the city doesn't really own it, so it's decomposing, and it's kind of affecting a little bit of the Queen Mary. So because they didn't want anything to happen, they had to like close it for a while. So I wasn't sure if it was back open or not. Because I remember I looked it up because I wanted to go.
Yeah, when they did the episode of the Queen Mary, actually, I think it had been closed for a year and a little bit over.
Yeah, because I wanted to go, actually 2 years ago. So I think it was at the time when I wanted to go. It was at that time when they went, because I think it was 2021, and I wanted to go, and it was closed because we went to the aquarium, and it's like right there. It's around that area, so I know it was
the Aquarium of the Pacific.
Yeah, so we wanted to go, but I know it was closed. And yeah, that episode, like I've been telling you guys to watch. I was telling Heather like how to watch them, because Kelly definitely has some kind of powers.
Yes,
that she doesn't. She's starting to realize that she has. Because there's this guy who was living while it was closed. He was living at the Queen Mary, and he said that there's a lot of stuff that happens to him.
He got scratched.
Yeah, he got scratched. Yes. And then, what he does is kind of tell them people like, okay, this is a bad goes, oh, this is not, so you'll be okay, like, or don't go to this part because it could be dangerous for other people, things like that. But yeah, that one, it was so creepy. Like, all of them are creepy, but this one, like, it gets you.
Yeah, like the psychic medium said that there's like about hundreds of like entities in there, like ghosts and everything, because and you can just see it and feel it.
Yeah. It's just creepy, but yeah, that's a good one, and I want to visit too. I haven't had the pleasure to visit yet.
Yeah,
I've actually spent the night there. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, really?
The hallways, like at 2 a.m, you get, like they said, you get Shining vibes. It's just you're expecting someone to just pop out.
Like, no, gracias.
What about a long hallway just full of blood? Ugh.
No. Okay, this one's JoJo's, right? Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. And it's in West Virginia. It was built in the late 1800s. And what's crazy about this one was that it was originally supposed to hold like 250-ish people. And in the 50s, they were saying, or what I read was that like at that point, there was like 2,000 and something. So it was like really... Yeah, it was really inhumane, like the way that they were treating people there, and like they would do lobotomies, like what Steve was saying earlier about the same place you were talking about with the school.
Yeah,
it's pretty much a similar story with this, and like they started doing lobotomies because of the overpopulation there. So it was wild, and then like for the some of the patients that they couldn't really control, they would just cage. So yeah, it was unreal, like some of that stuff that I was reading up on. But yeah, it looks creepy as hell. And obviously all of that crazy stuff that happened left a mark on this building. So
it looks nice on the outside, but obviously
I know you look inside and it's like crazy. But yeah, they do like tours there and like a lot of paranormal activity shows, like go and visit and stuff. Like I think the guys that I recommended that first day,
I went there.
Yeah, what's his name? Sam and Kobe. Yes, yeah, they went here. I haven't seen that episode yet, but yeah,
I still haven't checked it out. I forgot about it. I need to watch it.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, no, it's just another like ghost hunter kind of thing. But I just like them because they do a lot of research. Like, and it's throughout. Usually those shows it has like a little bit of research and then mostly them just kind of going through it. But with those guys, I feel like it's all throughout the episode that they're giving you little tidbits about each room and stuff. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, this place looks creepy as hell, and it'd be interesting to just go check it out and stuff.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Yeah,
it looks scary. I bet you at night it's horrifying.
Oh yeah, terrible.
Okay, this one's Sarah's pick.
Yeah, this is mine. So this is the Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is actually one of the what do they say, the most haunted in the country.
Oh wow.
It sounded like the second. It sounds like the second floor is where the hauntings do happen. People so a lot of the famous or baseball players stay in this hotel. All of them had kind of the same experience where TVs and lights go off and on. Their iPads have gone off and on. There's actually Megan Thee Stallion. She had some fun with one of the ghosts last year, right? So she said when Megan Thee Stallion was in town for Summerfest last year, she and her entourage did some posts about their ghost hunting experience in the hotel. And if you believe the Stallion, who doesn't, she had a ghostly encounter there. So they're saying that the guy who built it, Charles Pfister, he actually roams the hotel. This hotel was built back in 1893. There's like no murders or anything. It's just a haunted place. So it looks super creepy. But yeah, I've heard that this is a pretty pretty haunted place.
Wow, it looks beautiful. It looks like The Shining, another one that it looks so beautiful.
Right?
Like, still,
There's a
They're
hotel,
deceiving.
there's a hotel they stayed at in Cleveland. I can't remember the name of it, and that looks like The Shining. Like,
ooh, I want to send me
super
pictures.
creepy, like these long like hallways. Like, I should find a picture of it and I'll show it to you guys.
Yes,
It reminds me of like the Ghostbusters. If you remember the apartment building that they lived in.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's what this like hotel looked like in Cleveland. It looks kind of like this too, with just like old and creepy and like, you know, something's gonna happen.
You know, it's funny that you said the Ghostbusters because I added that picture of the dining that it looks like where the Ghostbusters go in and they destroy them.
Right?
And I was like, I added that one because I was like, that reminds of the Ghostbusters. That's awesome. Bobby. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, this one's Steve.
Oh yeah.
It was creepy.
So this is the sand tunnels in Las Vegas.
I heard about this. I used to live out there. So
yeah. So here, like it's by like, so basically this was designed to during the monsoon season in Vegas when it comes down to drain out the streets of the strip. And a lot's to be said that like a lot of like homeless people come down there, so and they go through these taverns in this area, but they warn you, they tell you like don't go in there because there's a chance you can drown, like the water just goes that fast. And people have kind of died down there. There's also been like some cases. I've listened to some podcasts and some stories of people going there at night and having this like this woman chase after the car. It's like an aggressive like area, and there's a lot of bums that are there too. So it's they basically, the cops will allow them to go down there. They kind of have like their own community down there, but once monsoon season comes, they go in there and they pull them out. They tell them like, you got to go because the rain could flood you in here. But yeah, it's
I think I remember seeing that somebody was helping homeless and stuff like that to talk to about their stories, and I remember this. Now that you said that, I remember this tunnels. And you know where I got those pictures from? It was from this website, and they were talking about that, and they said when the people that took the pictures, that while they were standing there on the bottom picture on the left, when they were standing there, that they started feeling very, very nauseous. They were all feeling very sick. And then once they kind of drove away, they felt better. But then they went back again to see if it was actually for being there. And they came back, and again, they started feeling like very nauseous, very sick, and lightheaded. But I mean, also, I think about it. It rains, there's water. It has to be mold that is affecting them. Maybe.
Sure. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. That's what I think when you're in a place like that. That's my how do you say, like, my explanation why you
your rationality.
Yes. That's a good one. Yeah.
And Vegas is crazy, man, especially like around there, because that's close by. Like you could drive there.
Took a wrong turn there. One time I took a wrong turn and ended up in that area. Not exactly there, but it was in that area, and I was like, "Oh, good God, I need to get out of here."
Run, girl, run.
Yeah,
get chills.
Because Vegas, like, I mean, all places are haunted, but I feel like certain areas that I've been in Vegas, like there's a lot of crazy like stuff that happens out there.
Yeah.
You got like crazy people.
Yeah. Okay, this one is Fest.
For this one, it's Gravity Hills, but I'm pretty sure every state kind of has a Gravity Hills. This one's in Lewisberry, Pennsylvania, and the story goes for this one, there's like all of them. There's a bus accident, and if you put your car on neutral, even though it's uphill, you start going up the hill. And they're saying it's obviously the spirits of the kids that were involved in that bus accident. There's several different ones that speak out. There's some that are obviously over railroad tracks, but for some reason, this one, since it's uphill, they can't really debunk it, saying, "Oh, it's just a hoax." They've actually done studies where they'll put like circular objects like balls, and they'll go backwards. But for some reason, the vehicles will go forward up the hill, which is obviously the wrong direction. Certain things like that, I love. I just love it.
That's crazy. Oh, I like this. I need to look more into this. I want to see videos. Yeah. Oh, we should have had added one little video next time. But I need to look into it. Wow, thanks, dude. Thanks for sharing with this thing. Okay, what happened? Oh man, where's mine? Did I forget to add mine? I added it. I think I forgot to add mine.
You forgot to.
That's why that it's clear. Oh my goodness.
We were talking about it too. I remember that.
I was like, I forgot. Like, I mean, I got the pictures on my phone. Like, I forgot to add them. Okay. Well, let me just tell you, like, I can read about it real quick. Well, let me see if I can share the screen of it.
What if it's the ghost, Lucy?
Right? No, I think I just forgot. Let me see. What is it called? Let me see. Oh, sorry. That is right away. I just typed in. Right away came out. Images. Okay, so let me share my screen real quick, and I'll tell you more. Oops. No, where is it at? There. Okay. So it's this place right here. This is what I was gonna add. The Crescent Hotel in Eureka, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. So this place is beautiful, right? It was built in 1986, and it was built to be a hotel. I like how you can kind of see this more. And look at it. Oh my goodness. It's so pretty. So later in the I'm trying to close this window, sorry. Later it was made into a school. Sorry, my voice is going. They don't want me to talk about this. No, my allergies. No, my allergies, they've been so bad. So later it was made into a school for girls in 1909. And 16 years later, let me see. 16 years later, there's like the school for girls. 16 years later, look at all those pictures. They're so haunting.
I know, so creepy.
Look at this one.
It reminds me of The Others. Have you seen
Yes. Oh man, I love that movie. I've been wanting to watch it. Right? But later on, it was made into in 1937. Norman Baker turned it into a cancer hotel, but it was a scam, dude. This fool, he passed himself as a doctor. He was not a doctor. What? Oh.
No, yeah. I'm really into the story. That's why.
No, look at this fool. H&H.
Oh, heck no.
H&H.
Just stand here, dude.
I'm gonna have to go replay that.
I know. It's the dust, dude.
Yeah, it's made it an hour, 1:18 and 50.
Shut up.
I said so.
Norman Bates.
Norman Bates. Like,
No, Norman Baker. It was a fake. It was the hospital that he was claiming to be a doctor, and said that he had the cure for cancer. He was telling people he had the cure for cancer. He scammed people with cancer with like millions of dollars. And that isn't that fucked up, dude? Like telling people
it's
like
the plot of Saw X right now.
Yeah, like, and then while they were digging and stuff like that, like they found a bunch of little bottles of like medicine that I don't know if he was trying to hide or something, but they were buried and it contained a lot of human tissue. So like, yeah, so he got arrested and all that because, he was a scammer. But in this place, the room 218, people, they say that it's like the most haunted room in there, and because it's back into a hotel again. A worker that he was one of the first ones like to help build this hotel. He was on the roof fixing it, and he fell, and obviously he died. But now they said that he's still around there, and also like I guess the owner too, that like he owned this and kind of went back in there. But yeah, they said that this is one of the most haunted hotels in the United States. But imagine all those people that died, that they had cancer, and then this fool scamming them and shit like that.
That's
like
bad. Yeah.
I know. So that it looks really pretty. Like I had like pictures in here that I was like looking through it, and I forgot to add it. Like, there's not that many pictures. Never mind. I thought I couldn't really find pictures of the inside of the hotel, but I was reading one of the reviews that somebody did stay. Hey, Lucas, that did stayed in there, and they said it was a good experience. They did a whole tour of like ghosts, like paranormal tour and stuff like that. But yeah, it is. Yeah, freaking scammer, dude, freaking asshole. And in my notes, I wrote that mother effer.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that was our picks to place to visit. And now we're going to continue with our place, the movies that we want to watch. So this one was Fess.
For this one, it's Signs. It's a movie directed by M. Night Shyamalan, and it just has a killer cast. It's got Joaquin Phoenix in the younger phase. It's got Mel Gibson. The plot to this movie is pretty much, give you a quick dialogue if you haven't seen it. Mel Gibson's a priest, and he actually gets called because there's an accident. And sure enough, the accident that he goes to, it's his wife. His wife got pinned down by a drunk driver, and he just can't give, even though he's a father, he can't give it to forgive himself, to forgive the person that, struck his wife. But later on, during time passes by, obviously things are happening in the world where all these signs and crop circles are happening. Obviously the aliens are coming down. Just till this day, and I'm just getting chills talking about it. I still remember the first time I saw the scene where you actually see the alien.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen the movie, but it's a Cuban party happening, and all these kids are yelling in Spanish that, oh, look, it's back there. And they're like, oh, it's right there, it's behind. And then you see the camera like zoomed in like a little alleyway, and you just see the alien just walk by slowly, and it's just, you get chills, and it's like, oh my God.
So scared.
And but he ends up getting a phone call, and it's actually the person that hit his wife. He's calling him and say, hey father, I need you to come to my house. And then he hears like scruffle, so he goes there and he sees them outside in his vehicle, and he's like kind of bloody, and he has a quick conversation and tells him, hey, I'm sorry for everything that happened. I'm just letting you know that I'm leaving. These things don't like water. There's one inside. And he drives off. And then so he goes into the house, and he revives, and then he sees that there's something in the other room, and he looks under it, and you see the hand reach out for him, and it's just the whole movie is just, it's amazing. I just love it. So I won't give more of the plot away, but if you haven't seen Signs, see Signs.
So good. Such a good movie. Thank you, Fez. So this one, I'm going to just show it a little bit because it creeps me the hell up.
This is a really creepy, movie. Like,
whose pick is that?
Huh?
Whose pick is that? This one?
Me.
Yours? Okay.
Yes, that one. That was like one of the like movies that like really I could not go to sleep after watching it. I was like, oh no, like I stayed awake for hours just remembering it. So basically, like the story about it is, the little kid actually goes into like some type of like comatosis, I think it's called, and he starts going into like the other, I guess, like I don't know what it's called, like the astral planes. Basically, he's able
the
to like
upside down.
yeah, he's able to
the
talk.
further.
That's the he's able to talk to like, or like, you know, move
Astral
around the
project.
spirit. There we go.
There
There
you
we go. Yeah, that. And I just remember seeing you gotta see. I don't know why the Rotten Tomatoes has it at 67. I don't know how, because I
That's
feel like it
crazy.
deserves better than that.
And don't listen to
So
freaking.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't listen to them.
sometimes the Rotten Tomatoes has some good scores, and I'm like, okay, it's good. And then sometimes I'm like, it doesn't match up. I don't get it.
Yeah. No, that one, that's the only scary movie that I have not been able to finish, because that one scared me so.
Oh, Lucy, you have to see the ending. Oh my god.
Oh
ending
no,
to
I
this
can't.
is like chills up your like see, like if you shaved, your hairs are going back up. The ending of it
That's a rating system I can get behind. If
no.
So yeah, you can watch this on HBO Max and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's
no,
a
that
good
one. That one scares me. I cannot. Yeah, no thanks. Okay, the antlers.
This is my pick.
Oh, you, Sarah. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I picked this one. So kind of going off of what I talked about in the first part of the show about Wendigos. This is Antlers from 2021. You can actually see this on Hulu and some other YouTube, Amazon, but you gotta rent those. This is from the wonderful, talented, awesome detector director Guillermo del Toro. It's about a small town in Oregon. A teacher and her brother, who are like he's the local sheriff. They discover that a young boy is harboring a frightening secret. I haven't seen this movie, but I heard it's about a Wendigo. So yeah,
wow.
I want to check it out. So
I love Guillermo. That's
yes,
cool. I'll definitely check it out.
Yes, anything Guillermo del Toro, I love. He's a fantastic director. He's gonna do. Is it Bride of Frankenstein or Frankenstein?
Frankenstein. I saw that. Yes. Nice. Thank you, Sarah. And this one is
classic Child's Play.
Dude. It's a great pick. Like, I know that now they have a show. I never watch it. I'm not interested in it. But man, I remember watching these ones. I was so scared.
Classic.
Especially like a possessed doll.
Yeah.
Anything like that, it could like a hidden vessel. I mean, something small like that would scare the hell out of me.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Mariah right there.
Yeah.
Mariah.
She's so crazy. Yeah, that's creepy. That's a great pick. Anything else you want to add?
Oh no, I was just gonna say. Basically, this is just a kid named Andy. His mom purchases what's a good guy doll from this bum, but this guy that was a crook and a strangler, a killer, ended up dying and transferring his essence to this doll, Chucky, and he ends up going on a killing spree. Yeah, it's a classic. You got to watch it.
Yeah. There's like 3 movies, I think, from back in the day, and there's like new ones later on. But yeah, let's see that he's saying. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Ooh, I can't wait to
see Rotten Tomatoes. No. Okay, this one's JoJo.
Oh yeah. Ooh. So I got to see this. And it just was released yesterday. And I think it's really good to, like, if you want to get your kids into horror and like not quite sure where to start, or this one's pretty good. I never personally played the video games. It's based on the video games. But I enjoyed it, like, even as an adult and stuff. Like, they didn't go too hard with the kills, but they do like cut away from certain scenes and like they suggest things. So it was kind of it was kind of cool the way they cut it. But yeah, it's a nice balance too of like the horror, but also like some comedy spliced in between. So it's nice too in that way. So it's not like
nice balance.
hardcore horror. Yeah. And then yeah, it's like super like 90s vibe to early 90s, and which is fun because like I remember going to Chuck E. Cheese back when I was a kid and like being creeped out as I think there's like a family story where they have me meeting Chucky and like and I'm like crying and stuff.
Worst thing ever, dude.
They always tease me about it. But yeah, no, it's a fun one, and it's also like pretty creepy at times. So yeah, I really liked it, and it's basically about this guy it's the guy from Hunger Games, Josh Hutcherson. Yeah, and he did a really good job, I thought, and it's just like he's a lot more disheveled in this movie, but he's like, trying to figure out his life. His parents passed away. He's in charge of his little sister and like not sure. He just can't keep a job, and he's got trouble with like sleeping and dreams and stuff. So that was another cool aspect of it. Like they really go into the dreaming world in this and being able, kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street, how you can change things in your sleep. Ooh. Yeah, so it's got that to it too. So it's pretty cool.
We're gonna watch this one right now. Right after this, I'm gonna go pick up my son's friend because he wants to come over to watch it because it's available also on Peacock for free if you pay for the subscription. We have the cheap subscription. You can watch this. You'll have like a 3-minute commercial thing first, and then after that there's no commercials. You can watch the whole thing. So we're gonna watch this right now. My son is a huge fan of Five Nights at Freddy. He has books. He has read a lot of the books and played the game. We have the Oculus, and he plays on the Oculus too.
Oh wow!
Yes. So we're really excited to watch this tonight. Awesome. So yes, I saw that. I went on Peacock because I was gonna put something on, and then I saw it, and I was like, I was gonna watch The Office, and then I was like, wait, what? And then I told my husband when he came home, and I showed him, and then he was like, what? And then my son too was like, what? We gotta watch it tonight. So we're watching it tonight. So it's available on Peacock, and also if you want to have the theater experience, we're watching in the theaters. Thank you, Joe.
Of course.
So this one again, me and my Jack Osborne. I was not gonna really show it. I was gonna skip it because I keep talking about it. But this is his new show, Barry Bloodline. So it's on HBO or Discovery Plus. This one. Probably because all the kids, right? So yeah, I can figure. But yeah, this one is basically it calls Bloodlines because he's going to places where his family was from. I think this one is on tour. What is Tasmania or something like that? This is the very first episode he goes, and he found out that one of his uncles worked at this. It was a jail, like where they would kill the people. What is it called? Where they will they had death row and stuff like that, and they will
execution,
yes. And he was I think he was the one who was the one hanging the people. And then there was like another one who was there as a prisoner, but I was from his mom's side. One was from his dad's side, and then there was another one from his mom's side. So it was crazy for him. He didn't know. He thought it was only one side of the family. But he ended up finding out there's like 2 from his family. It was really creepy. It was really creepy because you know how yes, it is Jersey. He has, if you look him up, if you go on HBO and type Jack Osborne, there's a lot of shows that he has done on paranormal, and also looking for, what is it called? The Skinwalkers or something like that. Was that the Skin? Yeah, he has one of that, one of Bigfoot, UFOs. He has done ones with his whole one episode. It's only one episode, like an hour and a half of just his whole family, which is the creepiest one. And then the one with just Kelly, and then the Hell's Portal to Hell, which that's, oh my god, you guys have to watch that one. Yeah, Ozzy's son, Jack Osborne. Yeah, that's him. There's the one that he's another one that's also new. The very first episode, he has his mom on going into a hunting and the paranormal. You can see Sharon. It's so creepy how she passes out, but the way she passes out, it's extremely slow, and that she stops breathing, and they have to call the ambulance, take her to the hospital, and everything that he says, like, you have to know more, watch it.
Good.
But it's so good. Each episode he's gonna have different celebrity. It's somebody famous. Jenny McCarthy is in the second episode, I think. And then the other one, it's Jason Mewes and Team Kennedy. That one was funny, but it was also really good. So I recommend watching all his shows. But this one's kind of like the newest one that just came out with the very first episode. But he's just so good at what he's doing right now. He has two different podcasts on YouTube, with one with his family and one of himself talking with guests. It calls Ghosts and Grits, which it was one of my picks. Almost every pick, it has been about him. I'm obsessed right now, dude.
Yeah, you're in.
Right?
Yes, dude. And that's why I was like all scared.
That's cool though. I'm glad you mentioned all his shows. I never would have known.
Watch them, please, and message me once you watch them. But yeah, thank you guys. That's it for tonight. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me and this crazy adventure of Witching Hour. Next year again, hopefully we'll be able to do it. And everybody in the chat who has stopped by and listen to our stories, I really appreciate you guys so much. I have fun doing this, even though I was scared. I have fun. I want
to go out tonight?
Yeah, but thank you again, everybody. Tomorrow the guys, Tina Hurt, they have a show in the morning. What is it called? I always get it wrong.
Saturday morning toy box, but yeah, I do believe I'm not sure if we may be rescheduling because Big Rob's internet is out. So we'll find out.
It's his anniversary.
The orbs.
But I don't know. Just check to make sure to see if we have a show this weekend or not. If not, we'll see you guys probably Monday, right? With you guys, modern comic lovers. And then we are skipping on Tuesday for Comic Book Woman because Halloween, and we'll be back on Friday with the show. But thank you guys, Fez, Jojo, Heather, Sarah, Steve, and Aaron, and Josh weren't able to join us tonight. But thank you guys also for coming here. And for next year, if anybody wants to come through, message me when the time is getting closer in September so we can start getting prepared. But again, thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Love you all.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Stay safe out there.